Hi everyone. So in this lecture, we are going to start with another data structure that is list, and we will be working with the list STL. Okay, so a list STL in C++ basically corresponds to a doubly linked list. Okay, and as you know, what is a linked list? So a linked list is a linear data structure in which you store elements like an array, but the memory is not continuous. Okay, maybe 2 is lying in this part of the memory, next element is lying in this part of the memory, another element is lying in this part of the memory. Okay, so a list is like a doubly linked list where each element is connected with the next element as well as the previous element. Okay, so 3 is also connected with 2, 2 is also connected with 1. This is the head of the linked list, and this is the tail of the linked list. Okay, so if you want to store data in a double linked list, you can use the list STL, and we are going to see certain methods available with the list class. And one important thing about list is why it's useful. Okay, so it's useful when it comes to insertion and deletion of the data from the middle. Insert and delete from, let's say, front or from the middle, because when you talk about vector, in vector, if you want to insert some element in the middle of a vector, let's say 1 2 3 4 6 8 9, if you want to insert a 5 here, you will have to shift all the elements in one position afterwards. And especially if you want to push insert an element at this index, it's going to be slow because you have to shift all the elements. But in a doubly linked list, what you can do, you can just insert a new node here, and you can connect it with the next node, and you can make your head pointer to this position. So this can work in order one time. Similarly, insertion at tail will work in order one time. Similarly, you can also remove elements from the head, you can also remove elements from the tail. Okay, so due to these properties, list gives us four useful methods. One is called push back, insert at tail. One is called push front, insert at head. This is order one. And then you have pop back, that is remove from the tail. You can have pop front, you can remove from the head. And apart from it, you also have methods like insert. If you want to insert in the middle, you have a method called erase if you want to erase some of the elements. And erase basically, I think, works with the index. And there is a method called remove. If you want to remove some value out of the list, you can say, okay, remove all occurrences of 2. You can call the remove method. Okay, so we will see the demo in this video, and we will be working with certain functions that belong to the list class. So let's start with the demo. So yeah, okay, so let me start by including the list header file, that is hash include list. And let's try to create the list. Okay, so let's try to create a list. So I'm making a list of integers L. So this is how you can create a list class object. You can also initialize some values. So you can say, okay, I want to create a list L1 that contains certain numbers. Let's say 1 2 3 10 5 8 10 8 5. Let's say these are the numbers in the list. You can also make a list of a different data type because it's a template class. So you can say, okay, I want to create a list of strings, and let's say this list of strings contains some fruits: apple, guava, mango, banana, and so on. Okay, you can also add some elements to this list. You can say, okay, I want to insert a fruit called pineapple in this list. So you can add some elements in the list like this by doing a pushback that basically inserts at the tail. You can also iterate over the list and print the data. So you can say for auto s that lies in L2, for every string that lies in L2. Okay, either you can use auto or you can use string. You can just print the value of that particular string, maybe followed by an arrow like this. Okay, and let's try to run this much part till now. Okay, let's try to run this code. Okay, so you're getting this list. So you have this list that is made. You can also do sorting very easily. So instead of calling the sort function, here we will be using the sort function that is available inside the list class. So I can say L2.sort, that is going to sort all the elements of the list. Okay, now you can see these elements are now coming in the lexicographical sorted order. You can also reverse the ordering. You can say, okay, L2 dot reverse, I want to reverse all the elements of the list. In such a case, pineapple should come in the beginning. Okay, you can see pineapple is now coming in the beginning, and this is the reverse list. Maybe I want to remove pineapple, then I can call the pop front method. I can say, okay, L dot pop back, oh, L dot pop front, that will remove the first element of the list. And if I do, okay, see out L dot front, let's see the front element, and let's remove the front element. Okay, so okay, we got some error here. Sorry, this should be L2. This should be L2 because L is an empty list. We cannot see the front of an empty list. Okay, so the front element was pineapple and we removed the front element. We can also remove the last element and we can also add to the front of the list. Okay, so if I say, okay, L dot push front, let's say kiwi, I want to push kiwi to the front of the list, and I want to remove apple from the list, so I can say L2 dot pop back. Okay, and if I want to see what is the last element, I can call L2 dot back, show me the last element of the list and remove it. So let's run the code and see. Okay, now you can see apple is removed, pineapple is removed, and kiwi is added to the front of the list. Okay, so these are some of the operations that you can do on the list. You can also iterate on the list using iterators. You can say for auto it equals to L2 dot begin, it not equals to L2 dot end, it plus plus, and see out star of it. So we want to access what's there in the ith bucket in the list, maybe something like this, and this will give us the entire list again. Okay, so now you can see we are able to print the list using iterators. So begin points to the starting of the list, end points to the next node after the tail in the list. Okay, so we have to iterate before end in the list. Okay, so these are some of the methods available with the list class, and I will show you some more functions in the next video. Thanks a lot. See you guys in the next part.